Ember Honey Raven, the big fat witch. How are you? I'm doing great. I told you guys I was going to come back with a really gigantic book haul, and here I am. Now, you cannot see all of the books that are piled below, but y'all, I'm not even joking when I say I've probably got 30, 35 books to show you guys. So this book haul is going to be long. I'm going to preface this by saying these have been purchased over a 3-month period. I have had some of them stacked up because I've been meaning to show you. And as life happens, I bought a bunch of books. Life got busy. I have not been able to read probably more than half of them yet. I've gotten into some of them. So this is not a book review, but it is a book haul. And it's basically what I'm going to be reading over the next couple of months. So, I mean, just to give you an idea, yeah, it's a true, book haul. Now, I haven't even, thought this out very well because that's how it happens with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some here first. I've got a series of books that I picked up that I want to show you guys all of these. So I'll show you all of these and then we will get into, or maybe I'll mix them in. So you guys know I'm a huge reader. I love to read. A lot of you guys love to read too because you were always asking me, hey, any new books I should know about? And the answer is yes. Again, I won't be able to give you reviews on a lot of these, but I better stop yakking because I have so many to show you. So when I was in Arkansas, it's been a little over a month ago, dealing with a death in the family. I basically took myself to Books A Million and had a little grief shopping trip, which did I need to buy more books? No, I didn't, because y'all know, I mean, books are available at the library for free, but I don't know, some of the witchy books I like to have because I'm constantly studying. I found this entire set of books at Books A Million. They were inexpensive and they're beautiful, and I'll just show you each of them. So this one is Japanese Myths and Tales. Epic Japanese Myths and Tales. Epic Aztec Myths and Tales. These are nice and big. They're hardback. I like to read when it comes to folklore of other countries and cultures. These are Persian myths and tales. I think it's important to our magic history and our magic philosophy. African myths and tales. And y'all, these books are just full of folk tales, folklore, stories that are, inherent to whatever culture it is. Scottish, folk and fairy tales. And I don't know. I think if you go and read some of the folk tales from, other nations, other people, other cultures, you will find the roots of magic interwoven in a lot of them. These are First Peoples shared stories. So these are going to be indigenous folks. There's a lot of Native American stories in here. Just to give you an idea, these books, and I dug through them, there's The Coming of Kumara, which is a Maori tale. But they basically go into the origin of people and, some of the folklore. And there's a lot of magical devices in these books. They'll talk about, I did see one story in there. It was talking about the magic of a beaver tail and what it's used for. These are Norse myths and tales. You guys know Norse magic that's a thing. Celtic, y'all know. I love that they use green for Celtic because I always think of the Emerald Isle. I looked through this one as soon as I picked it up because I was super excited about it. There is an entire section in here called Tales of Witchcraft and Magic. And it has basically tales of the Three Knots, the Brownie, the Cauldron, the Horned Woman, Patti O'Kelly and the Weasel. If you've studied any kind of Celtic mythology at all, you'll recognize a lot of that. These are Chinese myths and tales. But yeah, and they're short, a lot of them. There's a section in here on this is what I loved about this one. Myths of thunder, lightning, wind, and rain. Myths of stars. The gods of China. There's, the Diamond King of Heaven. Myths of fire. A lot of these are broken out by elements, or there are sections on their witchcraft and belief systems. Egyptian myths and tales. This is the last one, I think. Yes. But a lot of them have references to herbology, magic, old religious beliefs. This one has, spells from the Book of the Dead, and there's a whole section on it. So things like this, to me, I love books like this because they are just a compendium of all the good stuff. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So there were 10 of them. I bought all 10 of them in the set, and I think they were like $12 a piece. I thought that was a great deal. I will absolutely, they're going to look beautiful up on the shelf, but also now I've got, lots of cultures represented here, and it's going to make it easier for me to study. So that's all for that set. So now I'll show you, this is the Occult book, A Chronological Journey from Alchemy to Wicca by John Michael Creer. And I liked this book. First of all, it's really pretty. It's a hardback. But I liked it because there are some pictorial representations in here. And it's done kind of from a more, like y'all know Marie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen. It's done more as like a well-rounded compendium, and it goes kind of through time and kind of builds upon, like Dion Fortune's Mystical Kabbalah. So this was, it was meant to be kind of like a compendium. This was originally $22. I got this at Books A Million as well. I think it was like $8, something like that. Books A Million has fantastic sections. Check the back of the store. I'll save that one. Actually, no, I won't. Stones of the Goddess. I picked this up. 104 Crystals for the Divine Feminine. You guys may remember this. I picked this up based on a class that I took from Nicholas Pearson at Mystic South. I have actually been going through this one. There are full color pictures. This is actually a very high quality book. Like the pages are heavy. It's really well done. So this is one of them. This is, y'all, this is great. Baba Yaga's Book of Witchcraft. This is Slavic Magic from the Witch of the Woods by Madame Hamida. We love us some Baba Yaga, and there is her chicken foot house. Y'all know. Yeah, and this one has some color in it too. I don't need a book to have pictures. I just need it to be laid out in a way that makes a lot of sense. And this book, it's great. I haven't gotten into it like too heavy yet, but it's there. This is the Witch's Book of Numbers. This is Enhance Your Magic with Numerology. I have a couple of books that are kind of, they're numerology focused. This one is specific to enhancing witchcraft with numerology, so I'm all about it. Again, not every book is going to encompass what you're trying to learn about the specific topic, so take what you need, leave the rest, and just kind of build your own knowledge base. That's what our grimoires are for. This book is called Woman Most Wild. It is 3 Keys to Liberating the Witch Within. This is by Danielle Dulski. She has written another book that I really, really loved. And she gets great reviews, and it's kind of like about self-empowerment, and things like that. So I'm all about reading, other people's opinions on that. This talks about your root chakra and how to activate, and blessed magic of circle craft and the holy feminine, and things like that. So if you're into that, this looks like it may be really good. This one, y'all, I've already been deep into this book. So this one is the Book of Tarot, A Spiritual Key to Understanding the Cards. This is by Sahar. Oh, I'm going to, Honia, I'm going to butcher her name, Palmer, or him. I'm not even positive, or maybe they. But this book is also really beautiful, hardback. Now listen, this is what I love about this book. Check this out. This has got a page for every tarot. It's got a full section on how to bond with tarot decks. This is a great book. Again, found this at Books A Million. It's not going to give you everything, but it gives you enough that you're like, oh, okay. So speaking of the books that I showed you that have all the myths and the shared stories and the folk tales from all the different cultures, I just picked this up, not just because it has a Medusa on the front. This is Bullfinch's Mythology. It is a hardback, leather-bound, beautifully done book. Got this for a great deal. This has a bunch of fables, and I mean, if you've ever read Bullfinch's mythology, it's, yes, and it's gold. This is full of magic. If you do not believe that magic, look at the paper in this side. If you don't believe that magic cannot be found in mythology, you have not read enough mythology. There is magic all through it. And I'm not just talking about druids and, sprites and nymphs and things like that. I'm talking about there are incantations. There are mentions of magical potions, mirror magic, glamour magic. So your mythology books can be great resources if you're looking for old magic, things that have been around for, thousands of years. You'll find it in here a lot of times. I also picked this up kind of in that same vein because I'm in a period of study right now. I'm in a period of, I don't even know if I would call it, I'm always in a period of shadow work, especially lately. But I'm definitely in a period of study and introspection. And my study has really centered around going back to the roots of magic, going back to magic history, things like that. I've got a lot of books that, like the study has already been done for you, where someone says, okay, I've done all this study and here's what I think about this topic. I have read hundreds of books like that. And I'm not exaggerating, hundreds. I'm an avid reader. I've been reading magical books now for well over 15 years, actually a little longer, but we'll say 15 years, hot and heavy. And I normally read, depending on what's going on in my life, 50 to 100 books a year. A couple of books at a time I have going, a couple of books a week I get through. It depends. So I'm picking up, again, things that are focused on the root. So I picked this up, Classic Works from Women Writers. This is another beautifully done, leather-bound, gold spine book. And just to give you an idea, I love these inside papers when they take the time to make the book really pretty. High quality books. If you are curious as to why I would want to pick this up, well, first of all, women writers. Hello, I'm a feminist. But there are Frankenstein's by Mary Shelley is in here. There are writings by Willa Cather, Jane Austen, Emily Dickinson, poems. There's a lot in here. Amy Lowell, Edith Wharton. There is magic interwoven through a lot of these old writings by women. You have to look for it. There's a lot of magic in Frankenstein. You have to look for it. You have to be willing to recognize it, but it is there. And if you are a feminist witch, look for it. I'll be putting some links down below. Most of these you can find on Amazon. I try not to use Amazon, but I know for some of us, if you live way out in the country, sometimes that's the best option for you if you don't have like a standing bookstore near you. So I don't judge. I know that we all do the best that we can in the ways that we can. So, do what you got to do. So yeah, oh my gosh, y'all, we're a little over halfway. So I'm doing well because I'm talking and I'm staying on topic, which is something I have a hard time doing. Anyway. So this one is also really beautiful. This is The History of Magic, Witchcraft, and the Occult. It is a hardback, beautifully done. I have two other books that are similar to this that have very similar names. I haven't even cracked the spine on this one, y'all. But I liked this one in particular because it is set up in little short bursts with lots of pictures. So when you're reading about, the Minoan snake goddess, for example, if there's not a picture of something, of the statue, that would be something that I would probably stop what I'm doing and go look it up on the internet because I like to have a visual image of what they're talking about. You don't have to do it in this book. They provide lots of visuals. Beautifully done. This is a section on reincarnation. Isn't that beautiful? Bella's probably going to bark because UPS is about to drop off something. And we're gonna let her bark and let her do her thing. And thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Come here. That's a big girl bark. And that was Craig doing his little, he always likes to follow it up with a little, okay, boy, we're good. He likes to follow it up. I'm not even cutting this out, y'all. You can hear the chaos in my house. Not even cutting it out. Nope. All right, so let me get through some of these other ones. I've got a little stack. Well, it's not a little stack, but it is. So here's another one. This one is called The House Witch. It is your complete guide to creating a magical space with rituals and spells for hearth and home. This is by Erin Murphy Hiscock. hardback. It's small, but y'all, this is such, I thumbed through this one. It's such a cute little book. It's got like basic room purification rituals, preparing food with awareness, how to make some potpourri. You know, it's just talking about like different things you can do with your cauldron. This is a really cute little house book. I have dozens of books like this. You will find some of the same information in them, but I love reading individual takes on house magic because let's face it, most of us are always working house magic, right? So this one is called Women and Other Monsters, Building a New Mythology by Jess Zimmerman. Now, you may ask yourself, why is this magical? Well, first of all, it is, okay? Women and Other Monsters, the title tells you this is kind of about the vilification of femininity, which there are roots in magic there, believe it or not. This book about building a new mythology, there are sections in here, like there's one called How to Turn a Man to Stone, and it's talking about sister monsters. There's a lot of Medusa etymology in here. Wow, there's a lot. Mother of Monsters epilogue. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I haven't gotten into this one yet. I will do a full book review on this. And I do think that it is, I think this is the same girl that wrote Basic Witches. I'm almost positive. I'm trying to see if it's got a thing. I think she's one of the co-authors of Basic Witches, if I'm not mistaken, but this looked amazing and I had to pick it up. Y'all, this is a big ass stack of books right here. I'm just saying. I picked up the Book of Lilith by Barbara Black Kultov, PhD. Oops, excuse me. The Book of Lilith. I have been in my feminist witch phase for, well, I've been a feminist since I was about, intentionally since I was about 17. Feminist witch, well, probably didn't claim the title until way after I actually lived it, but yeah, I'm all about reading up on Lilith. And if you don't know the overlay between Lilith and Eve and the discussion around Lilith as kind of the dark feminine, do some reading because it is fascinating. This book got great reviews. I will look through it and read up on it and, you know, tell you guys what I think. It's a short read, so I can probably get through this one pretty quick, but I'm excited to read that one. This is the Ancestral Grimoire. It is Create Your Personal Book of Shadows, Nancy Hendrickson. I am actually very excited to read this one. I've got a video that I want to do. I'm probably going to put it on Patreon. You guys know I have a Patreon where there are like 500 videos over there that I've been putting up for the last probably six years or so, maybe 7. I've talked over there about working with ancestors, and if you're adopted or maybe you're not like on good terms with some of your ancestors, or you have ancestors that were not good people, about, you know, how to work with some of them. I'm going to do a whole video on that over there, but I thought this would probably be a good read, a good start for that. Ancestral Grimoire. Okay, this book, y'all, this one was on my list for a while. A Walk Through the Forest of Souls. This is a tarot journey to spiritual awakening by Rachel Pollack. I have read another book by her that I loved. She writes fantastic tarot books. They are illustrated. They are very in-depth, and they, you know, basically talk about if you want to become a reader, here's what's going to happen. Here's some ways to interpret, opening your heart up to new interpretations. And it's not just here's what the card means and here's the spread. It is really about deepening your spirituality through tarot practice. I'm going to save that one. And I may save that one till the end because that's one of the ones that I'm like most excited about. This one is called 54 Devils. It is The Art and Folklore of Fortune Telling with Playing Cards by Corey Thomas Hutchison. I saw Corey Thomas Hutchison speak at Mystic South, and I was blown away by him. He is such a sweet soul and so well read and well spoken. And I basically have gone out and picked up everything that the man has written. I'm especially interested in learning about reading fortunes with playing cards because that is, y'all know I've got a whole backstory with Romani Gypsy heritage, and Romani people have been reading playing cards as fortune telling devices for hundreds of years. So this was an awesome one. Okay, y'all, I got about 10 left. We're getting there. This one by Ivo Dominguez Jr., another one of my very favorite people and authors. This is called Keys to Perception. It's a practical guide to psychic development. If you do not know who Ivo Dominguez is, where have you been? Anything this man has written, I would highly recommend going out and picking it up. Any class that you can take, any talk you can see him give, please, 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 if you don't know who he is, educate yourself, because this man is brilliant, well-read, well-researched, and he's accessible. Like, he's not so highbrow when he speaks that you can't really get to the root of what he's saying. He's amazing. This was another one that I was super excited about. This is Inspiring Creativity Through Magic, How to Ritualize Your Art and Attract the Creative Spirit by Estrella Taylor. You guys, a lot of us have talked, especially now, Molly Roberts is in my head right now, but a lot of us have talked about like figuring out ways to tie our magic and our creativity together so that we can activate our creativity. Here we go. Y'all see that I've got placeholders in here already because I'm working my way through this. This talks about, deities associated with art and creativity and meditations you can do and just exercises and using the days of the week for inspiration and, how the spirits can help artists. This looks amazing. It's been great so far. Another Ivo Dominguez. This is the 4 Elements of the Wise, working with the magical powers of earth, air, water, and fire. Y'all, if you have not been on my Patreon, I went on a whole rant over there about how I had to have a little ego death when it came to taking a class at the first Mystic South with Ivo. Ivo was not able to make it to the last one, but I was in his class for the first one, and it was about some elemental magic. And I was in there thinking, what is there left to learn about earth, air, water, fire? I mean, hello. If you studied the elements, you know what there is to know. No, you don't. No, you don't. Pick this book up. I promise you will learn something. I promise you. I don't care if you've been a witch for 50 years and you've read every book there is. You will learn. Pick this up. It's great. I can't say enough great things about it. It's a great book. This is Practical Astrology for Witches and Pagans, also by Ivo. You guys know I went out and bought everything. I'm serious. I bought everything the man has written. I have 3 others over there that I think I may have already showed you guys, but yeah. This is another one, Using the Planets and Stars for Effective Spell Work, Rituals, and Magical. Again, if you're an astrologer, if you are a tarot reader and you use astrology, if you have studied astrology for years and you think you know everything there is to know, I promise, pick this up. Pick it up. You will learn something. Many things, probably. Okay, this one, I'm so excited about this, y'all. Kelden, I actually met Kelden at this last Mystic South. He was adorable. I actually got him to sign this book for me. And when I found out, he signed it. When I found out his book was there, I was like, oh my gosh, let me get it. This is a book called The Witches Sabbath, just by Kelden. Just one name, like Madonna, because that's how good he is. It's an exploration of history, folklore, and modern practice. This love, I'm about halfway through it now. This is another one where if you think you know everything there is, pick it up. I will say this. I love to be surprised. I love to be surprised when I'm reading. I love to have an ego death around, yeah, here's what you thought you knew. Let me round that out for you. Let me provide some more context for you. Great book. Recommended. You guys see I saved like most of my favorites for last. This is another one that is witchy to me, but some of you may be like, what the hell? This is The Hidden History of Old Atlanta. Why would I pick this up? Because I live in Atlanta, and Atlanta is a very haunted city. Most cities in America, especially in the Deep South, are haunted. And even up north and out west, you guys, there are probably stories from the city that you live in where there have been like when I used to live in Arkansas, there was a story about the train tracks, the deadlights out on the train tracks that you could see because, some people had gotten hit by a train. I'm trying to say it without getting my video kicked off of YouTube. But I like to read up on the history of the place where I'm living. Books like this can help you find graveyards, historical markers. They will help you understand that there may be magical places, actual spaces in your city that you have not yet explored, and places that you may want to collect dirt or just go meditate. Find a hidden history book for your own town. If there isn't one, start researching it and write it. Like, people will read it. I love this kind of stuff. This one is actually so well done. I looked through it. This one actually talks about different trails, physical markers, and, you know, people that have been famous here, battles that have been fought here, historic sites and things. And so now I've got a list of places that I want to go explore and, you know, collect some items from. So there's that. Here is another Corey Thomas Hutchison. Y'all, this one is living. This is the complete book of North American folk magic by Corey Thomas Hutchison. This is a big old beefy bitch. It is a landscape of magic, mystery, and tradition. Very well done book. And it is beefy. You will learn. The other one that Corey wrote, it is, Athena sent it to me. It is... Do I have it out? Where did I put that book? New World Witchery. New World Witchery. It's actually up on that shelf above the Green Witch's Garden. New World Witchery is one that Athena sent to me, and she was like, you have to read this. Y'all, these are so well done. They are beefy. They have great information. They're written in a way that is easy to understand and remember. I love the research that has gone into these. They're great. Here is another tarot book, another hardback. I picked this up at Books A Million. It is the Cards for Divination, Wisdom, and Self-Discovery. Now, this one, y'all, I was so confused by this book because look how beautiful this is, right? This book is beautiful, but they've like double folded the pages in this, so the book is like a lot thicker than what it really needs to be. I thought these were envelopes. Look, I'm not complaining. This book is beautiful. And if you are new to tarot or if you want a refresher, I think this is a great way to learn. So you can like look at the picture. It gives you the meaning. It tells you what arcana it is, interpretations for upright and reversed. It's very stripped down. But again, if you just want a refresher or something that will like be easy for you to get into, this is a great book. That Books A Million, y'all, is $10. $10. And y'all, this is going to be beautiful sitting on my shelf. Just saying. All right. Let me get to my last two books. Actually, last three. This one is Myth and Magic of Pagan Ireland. It's a dual language mythology book by Morgan Daimler, who has written other books that are focused on Pagan Ireland. This is a little bitty book. I'm loving, like, you can get through this in a day, y'all. There are like little tales in here. There are like little, yeah, this is really cute. There's like little tales of adventure. I'm looking to see, let me pull up and there are some of it's written in, is it Gaelic? Might be Gaelic. I'm not very well versed, so I'm gonna have to look this up. But she's got a dual language book in here, so you can read it in both languages. Yeah, dual language collection of Irish myth, volume 3. So these are all Irish myths. I'm loving it. So I'm going to try to read it in English. And now that I have the other version here, then hello. Little bitty book, again, cute. These are my last two that I'm most excited about. I had to chase both of them down. One of them's out of print and one's very hard to find. Well, both are hard to find. One's out of print. This, y'all know that I am a dedicant of Medusa, that she is my mother, my maiden mother and crone, that I work with her as the Holy Trinity goddess with Hecate and the Morrigan. I know it doesn't make sense to everyone. That's how I work. I was very excited about this Little Finn book. Little Finn. It is called Mother Medusa, Weaving Myth, Ritual, and Magic into Healing from a Narcissistic Upbringing. It is by Pi Venus Winslow. I need to do a whole video on this book. I devoured it. I've actually read it 3 times since I got it. And it has been helpful to me in ways that I cannot fully explain. There are stories in here. There's a few like musings, like essays. There's a whole essay on the slaying of Medusa. There are, like, she gives you a list in here, signs of being mothered by Medusa. And she gives you a whole list. lack of boundaries, body shame, fear of people in power, people pleasing, codependency. And I'm like, I've struggled with all of that. So she basically is saying, look, if you think that Medusa might be coming to you, then here's maybe some things that might trigger you to know. This is amazing. I got this on Amazon. I will link this particular book. Again, it helped me in ways I cannot fully describe yet. I need to do a full review. I want to do a walkthrough on that one because, yes. And then the final book in this gigantic haul that is now half an hour long because, oh my God, is Medusa, Solving the Mystery of the Gorgon. It is by Stephen Wilk. I had to chase this book down. I think I got this on eBay because it is hard to find. It's out of print, and it is pretty amazing, y'all. So just to give you an example, this guy talks about, you know, the nature of the myth, appearances of the Gorgon and Medusa in different artworks, parallels from around the world where you will see Medusa imagery kind of all over the world, even though she's a Greek Gorgon. There is Gorgons and gargoyles in general, the Gorgon today, etc., etc. Now, this, y'all, this thing, I thought this guy had a doctorate in Greek mythology. From what I understand, no, he's a system engineer, like a technical system engineer. This is written like, this is someone who is so passionate about the mythology around Medusa. I thought this was his thesis. Like, it's that well done. It's amazing. I'm still making my way through it because it is kind of heavy in some places. It is a little bit scholastic in places, which is juicy for me. I love that. But I'm just saying, this book, I had to pay like $35 for this because it wasn't just something I could readily find. If you find this and you are a dedicant of Medusa, highly recommended. It's great. You guys know that I have lots of other Medusa books up here that I've shown you in the past. There's another one called Revisioning Medusa. There's one called Medusa by David Leeming. I've got there's another one called The Medusa Reader. Pretty much any book I can find that is focused on Medusa. I am reading one that just came out called Medusa's Sisters. It actually was just released. Y'all, I got to do a whole video on that book. I cried twice in the first chapter. It is written it is a fictionalized accounting of Medusa's life, but also includes narratives from her sisters, Steno and Euryale. So a lot of people, well, not a lot, there are many people that I have spoken to that did not know that Medusa had two sisters. They don't know anything about her family heritage. They don't know anything other than Perseus slayed her and she had snakes for hair. She is so much deeper than that. Her story, her mythology, her presence is so much deeper than that. I am devouring everything I can find on Medusa, which is another reason why I got the copy of Bullfinch's Mythology, because there's a passage about her in there. Because I have felt very tugged toward deepening that relationship. I already have what I consider to be a very deep relationship with Medusa. She's on all of my altars and has been for years. I have a giant Medusa tattoo that I've had for going on 20 years. I have been obsessed with Medusa since I was a kid. Here's a paperweight. Y'all know that the imagery of the snake is basically all over my house, all over me. It's all over everything I own. And it just kind of has never left my psyche. I'm just going to say, yeah, I need to do a whole series on working with Medusa. I know that, Debbie, I know you've asked several times for me to talk about it. There's a part of me that feels very protective of the relationship with Medusa because, you know, the low vibrational part of me is like, I don't want that thing to happen where, remember back in the day where there were fads that were happening on YouTube where someone said, I'm going to work with so-and-so goddess. And next thing you know, every person is saying, oh, I'm being pulled to work toward that goddess. And I think that's a legit thing sometimes. I think when goddesses start showing up really heavy in the ether, yeah, there can be dozens of witches pulled to work with them. But I feel protective of that because, you know, everybody wants to be mommy's favorite child. That's the low vibration part of me. The high vibration part of me is, let's build an army, sister. If Mama Medusa wants us to, you know, build an army in her name, then I'm ready to help lead that charge. Like, come into the fold, my sisters and my brothers and my ladies, and, you know, like, let's do it. I think when I'm in my best self, I think that it is a very positive thing that more people are discovering the wonders and joys of a relationship with Mama Medusa and everything she has to offer. So yeah, didn't mean to go on a little sermon about the wonders of her, but yeah, there she is. So thank you for coming to this very long book haul. I will be reading and finishing most of these over the next probably 2 to 3 months, and coming back to do lots and lots of book reviews and things like that. It is my full intention to continue to put up videos on a more frequent basis here on YouTube. I still have my Patreon. Again, there are 500 videos there. I post at least 2 or 3 times a month. There have been a couple of months I've only put up like 1 or 2 videos, but I have never gone a full month without posting over there, ever. It's just, yeah, every time I say I'm about to really flood y'all with videos on my Patreon, like my life gets crazy and I'm like, what does this mean? But I do have, you know, several that I filmed and edited that need to go up over there as well. So link is down below. I will link some of these books, some of my favorites down below. If you have any questions, if there's a book that I've shown you today that you're like super duper interested in and you want to know more about it, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Leave a comment if you've read anything and if you've got any of your own like take on it. I'm all ears. So I hope you've enjoyed this gigantic witchy book haul. And until next time, keep making magic.